Hey, Eagle 7 here, and in this video I want to talk about taming the Gazelle. I've been messing around with some of the control settings, trying to dial this helicopter in. I know it's very squirrely, very sensitive, and I'm sure this has been covered in other videos, but I just found it. If you go up here to the main menu, go over to Special, go down to the Gazelle, and click Easier Controls. Make sure that box is filled in. Easier Controls. And I found that the helicopter flies a lot more like I would think it would fly. As you know, I've flown real turbine powered helicopters in real life. I have over 1,000 hours in them. And I have a lot of hours in an A-Star, an AS350B2. And it's similar rotor head, three-bladed rotor head, similar to the Gazelle. It doesn't have the Fenestron tail rotor. It has a normal tail rotor. But let's go ahead and try this easier control setting and see if it makes a difference. I think it does. Let me bring up the control box and let's take a look at the access command settings. So we have it on easy control. So pitch, I have 0 dead zone, X and Y are 100, and curvatures are 0. Roll, 0, X and Y 100, curvature 0. And anti-torque pedals, 0, 100, and 0. So everything's pretty much OEM. So let's go ahead and see how much more controllable it is in easier mode. Let me just turn a few things on. I got some trucks out there. We might as well attack them while we're at it. Alright. So I found this to be fairly accurate to what I would think the flight controls of how flight controls of a helicopter should respond. And remember, in this helicopter, it's right anti-torque pedal, and then it's going to be a little right cyclic. So let's go ahead and bring it up. And you see right off the bat, it's a lot more stable. And this is what I would expect, like out of a real helicopter. The one thing I've noticed with most flight sims, X-Plane and whatnot, the helicopter simulators are a lot harder than they really are in real life. Helicopters don't, unless you lose the tail rotor, drive shaft, or you stick your tail rotor into a fence, they'll spin all around and all out of control. But in real life, like we talked about in previous videos, 10-15 hours, you're pretty much hovering. You might not have mastered the aircraft, but you can hover it in a pretty small area like I'm doing here. So again, this is the easy control. Clicked on the main menu, and all the other access commands are stock. So you can see it's very easy to hover. So let's go out and see if we can attack some of those trucks, and I'll just show you here. So we'll just dip the nose a little bit, a little increase in the collective, and you see here the roll rate seems to be a lot smoother. Doesn't seem to be quite as jerky. So again, I'm sure this is probably covered in other videos, but it's been driving me crazy. I've tried all different kinds of access commands, different settings, and I just couldn't get this helicopter to fly the way I thought it should fly. And by checking that one box on the main menu, it seems to have really smoothed out the controls, making it a much more fun to fly. Again, the A-Star that I flew had a 3-bladed rotor system like this, and it is a lot more sensitive than your 2-bladed rotor systems like the Jet Ranger and the Huey. It's a lot more responsive, and even in the A-Star it had a friction lock on the cyclic on the bottom. You could put a little friction on the cyclic, and that made a huge difference flying the real helicopter. And again, when we're flying real helicopters, our forearm is, you know, being rested on our thigh, and we have a little bit more support working with just wrist movements and hand movements. Most of us, like even myself here, I'm using the Windwing F-18 stick. Got my forearm rested on the arm of my chair, so it does provide a little bit of support where I can make finer movements with just my wrist and fingers. But again, I find this to be a lot more controllable than it ever was. And like I said, I was trying all different types of settings and curvatures and dead zones, and I just couldn't get this dialed in. I got it close, but just never where I felt it was right. And just by clicking that box, Easy Controls, makes it so much easier to fly. And I don't think you're losing any authenticity personally. It flies exactly how I would expect a helicopter to perform as far as the roll rate, pitch rate. So I hope that maybe helps some of you guys out there struggling with the Gazelle. And again, this may have been covered in other videos. I know this helicopter's been out for a while, but I've just been playing with it for something different. I don't know if Polychop's going to work on the flight model or not. I guess there's been some discussion on the forums about that. But I've had pretty good results with this setting. I can't really complain. So anyways, you can see that it handles pretty well, and it can still do rolls if you wanted to. You can go ahead and roll it. So it's still responsive enough to give you a roll rate. for a roll. But you notice how much slower that it rolled? Not like it used to be. You used to turn the stick and it would roll right on its back pretty quick. So, pretty impressed with this setting. I think we got them all. One, two, three, four. I think that was it. Alright, so go ahead and we'll take her back in. Here. So same kind of thing, just like we discussed with the approach to landing in the patch or whatever. We want to get it slowed down, get our walking speed, keep that sight picture in the window, adjusting all the controls. Coming out of ETL there, we're going to need some pedal. Watching our sync rate. Coming in with collective and right pedal. And we'll just give ourselves a right pedal turn here. Set her down here. There we go. Alright, so just clicking that easy control, leaving the access commands to their OEM setting, makes this thing much more enjoyable to fly. And I hope it helped you out, and we'll see you on the next one.